Chairman.
For what purposes, Mr. Roy seek recognition?
Move to strike the last word.
Gentleman is recognized.
I thank the chairman. I appreciate the amendment being offered from my colleague from Texas. We have found ourselves, of course, today having a number of amendment discussions involving border security, immigration related matters because it's such a pressing issue. And obviously those of us who recognize what a harm is befalling our nation as a result of wide open borders in terms of the empowerment of cartels and the endangerment of the American citizens and the endangerment of the migrants who seek to come here, we'd like to actually do something about that. We've had votes on background checks. We've had votes on that we shouldn't have any effect here until the migrant protection protocol is re-implemented, given that a federal judge said that we should re-implement it. Money for a border wall. We had votes on mandating that we ensure that people with sex offenses or multiple DUIs are not given status or firearms conviction. We've had numerous other votes, sanctuary cities, host votes, all voted down. And so now my colleague from Texas, I think, is rightfully saying what we all said at the beginning, which is that we shouldn't be legislating on policy matters as we are here in the context of a reconciliation bill. This is the same kind of action that divided the country coming out of Obamacare, where you try to backdoor in a procedure to try to defeat the 60 vote threshold in the Senate by forcing something in, a square peg in a round hole, and saying we're reconciling. That's just not occurring here. This isn't reconciliation. This is policy making. This is that we all get the joke. Everybody gets the joke. This is to try to jam policy through on 51 votes. That's what it is. Okay? Those are the facts. So I appreciate the gentleman from Texas, my colleague, offering this amendment to try to at least somehow put a foot back in the door of actually focusing on reconciliation. I would note that my friend from Kentucky's proper observation that we're now talking about, quote, human infrastructure, an absurd terminology, which is essentially, at least I now know why my Democratic colleagues don't give a rip about the little girls getting raped in South Texas right now, or the dead bodies in counties all along South Texas, the 89 dead bodies in Brooks County, the 70-something dead bodies in the Del Rio sector, the skull found on a ranch in South Texas because it was picked apart after dying in the Texas heat. Don't seem to care. Why? Because apparently we view these human beings as chattel. What more can we think when we refer to them as human infrastructure? What the hell does that even mean? But we're treating these human beings as some sort of political tool, political football. They're dying in South Texas. Ranchers that I talked to last week who are calling 911, sometimes effectively saving a life, often not. Having to then go watch a human being die on their ranch that they've had in their family for years. Happening in real time right now, but nobody in this committee on the other side of the aisle wants to talk about that. Why not? Because it isn't comfortable? You don't want to talk about those things? These are human beings, or are they human infrastructure? I'm sorry. I don't know what the term is right now. But that's what we're dealing with here. Instead of any kind of seriousness of having a real debate about the policy choices. I hear my colleagues on the other side of the aisle talking about DACA as if we don't live DACA all day long, every single day in Texas and border states. And my colleague from California, of course, a border state, and understand that human reality that we've had a failed, broken border for decades. And now human beings are facing the consequences of that. But what my colleagues on the other side of the aisle will never acknowledge is the extent to which the continuation of those failed policies makes our country weaker, makes our country worse off, undermines the very migrants who seek to come here, undermines Central America, undermines Mexico, empowers cartels, eliminates our ability to stand up against China. Also, Democrats can pat themselves on the back in the false name of compassion, saying, look at me, I like brown people, they don't. And it's such unbelievable crap. Go down and talk to the people in Laredo like I did last week. Hispanic Democrats who are just furious, as I said earlier, where is Joe Biden? Where's the administration while our city is under assault, while our ranchers are under assault? So I applaud the gentleman from Texas offering this amendment, and I support it. Now I yield to the gentleman from Texas anytime I have left.